for the power. So here P equal to Vm sin omega t into Im sin omega t. So we are going to get Vm Im sin square omega t. So here, so power waveform can be also obtained by multiplying the voltage and the current values. So at omega t equal to 0, power is equal to 0 as V equal to 0, I equal to 0. So when V equal to V is maximum, I is maximum, then power will be maximum. So here you can see the power waveform. It is positive wave. And here during the negative half cycle of the voltage, that is from pi to 2 pi, the voltage and current both are negative. When voltage and current are both are negative, what about the power? Power will be positive. So here I have drawn a power as positive. Now here average power. How to get the average power? Aj divided by 2 pi. So here I am taking the wave from 0 to 2 pi. So here I have to divide by 2 pi. So average power P equal to 1 by 2 pi integration 0 to 2 pi Vm Im sin square omega t. Just now we got power equation. Now if you integrate, you are going to get Vm by root 2 into Im by root 2. So what is Vm by root 2? RMS value. So RMS value is represented with capital V. So here, if, capital V into capital I, it by default it represents the RMS value. So here, if you take any appliance, let us take appliance on the, let us take ceiling fan. So on that it will be written 220 volts to 240 volts. That means we can apply 220 volts to 240 volts. That is the RMS value. And here our supply voltage is 230 volts AC. That means it is also RMS value. If I want the maximum value, the RMS value into root 2 gives the maximum value. That is Vm can be obtained by Vrms into root 2. So this is about the AC circuit containing resistance. Now coming to inductance. Now let us take a AC circuit containing inductance only. Now here you will, I am taking V equal to Vm sin omega t, and if I get I is equal to, you are going to get, see here, so applied voltage is Vm sin omega t. What is the induced EMF? L di by dt. So already showing this one, L di by dt. So induced EMF is given by L di by dt. So according to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, induced EMF is given by d psi by dt. Psi equal to, if you put psi equal to Li, you are going to get V equal to L di by dt. So here, whatever the applied voltage will be, so here as it is alternating voltage, you are going to get alternating current due to the alternating current. So EMF will be induced in the inductor. That induced EMF is given by L di by dt. The induced EMF is equal to the applied voltage. So here you can see here I substituted. So I substituted omega L equal to XL. I substituted omega L equal to XL. So XL is called as inductive reactance. So here, so Z equal to B by I. What is Z? Z is the impedance. So in AC circuits, we are going to have impedance. In DC circuits, we are going to have only resistance. But in AC circuits, we are going to have impedance. So Z equal to V by I. Z equal to V by I. So, so if you take Z equal to V by I, so you are going to get, so substitute the values equation for V and I. V and I. So here you are going to get, it is Z equal to J omega L, which is written as JXL. So in where XL is the inductive reactance. Now here you got I equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. That means if at omega t equal to 0, what about the I? I is negative. When at omega t equal to pi by 2, I is equal to 0. So here if you see the voltage wave equation, so here in the voltage wave equation, if you see the voltage wave, V equal to Vm sin omega t is represented here. So it starts from 0. When t at t equal to 0, voltage equal to 0. As t at t equal to pi by 2, that means at omega t equal to pi by 2, so V will be maximum. So here if you see the current waveform, it is drawn with a dotted line. So it is below the voltage wave. So here at pi by before pi by 2 it is negative. After pi by 2 it will be positive. Now here you can see here, if you want the power waveform, you have to multiply voltage waveform and current waveform. If you take the values, then you are going to get the power waveform. So from 0 to pi by 2, you can see voltage is positive, but current is negative. So power will be negative. From pi by 2 to pi, you can see voltage is positive and current is positive. So power is positive. So here, power is uh, for some time the power is negative and in some time the power is positive. So positive power means that will be consumed by the load, that means inductor. Negative power means the flow of power will be from inductor to source. So positive value of power means the power flow from source to inductor, that means voltage source to inductor, that power, whatever the power transfer is there, that is represented with positive value. So negative means the power flow from inductor to source, that means power is fed back to the source by the inductor. So here what about the average power? Average power is equal to 0. So here, so inductor will be storing the energy in the form of magnetic field for some quarter cycle, and for the next quarter cycle the inductor will be giving back the power to the source. So inductor will exchange energy. So here during for some time it will be storing the energy in the form of magnetic field, and after some time it will be giving back the power to the source. So here this is the inductor. Net power consumed by the inductor is equal to 0. Similarly capacitor, if you take a capacitor also, so here energy stored is given by, so energy stored in the capacitor, this also I discussed in the last class. So if you take up P equal to VI, I equal to dq by dt. So here Q equal to CV. So finally power equal to CV dV by dt. Now here energy stored in the capacitor. So a capacitor stores the energy in the form of electrostatic field. So energy is equal to integration of power with respect to dt. So if you substitute the expression for P, we are going to get it C here. Finally, you are going to get C integration 0 to V dV. So after integration, it becomes half CV square. So the energy stored in the capacitor is given by half CV square. So if you take AC circuit containing capacitor only, here also you are going to get the expression for current. So here, so the current is given by I equal to Im sin omega t plus pi by 2. So here the current leads the voltage by pi by 2. So the phase difference between this uh, voltage and current is pi by 2. So here if you see the voltage equation, current equation, so if you take voltage, let us take voltage starting from 0. So at omega t equal to 0, V equal to 0. Now here current, so it leads the voltage. So here at omega t equal to 0, current is having already maximum value, and at pi by 2, the current becomes 0. So here the current leads the voltage by 90 degrees. Now here if you see the power, so here during 0 to pi by 2, the power is positive, and pi by 2 to pi, the power is negative. Here also the capacitor will be storing energy in the form of electrostatic field during some period, and after that it will be giving back the energy to the source. So net power consumed by a capacitor, that is pure capacitor, is 0. Now here Z equal to V by I. Z equal to V by I. So in AC circuits, we have Z. Z means impedance. Z means impedance. Note down Z equal to impedance. In a running notes, write down Z equal to impedance. It is given by V by I. So here for the circuit, so V equal to Vm sin omega t, I equal to Im sin omega t plus pi by 2. So here finally you are going to get Z equal to minus J 1 by omega c. So 1 by omega c is written as Xc, where Xc is the capacitor reactance. Xc is called as capacitor reactance. Xc. Xc equal to 1 by omega c is called capacitor reactance. So here Vc of t, if we want the Vc of t, so impedance into current. So minus J Xc into Ic of t. So here minus Jxc is the impedance. Z equal to, we got minus Jxc. Xc is the capacitor reactance. Impedance offered by the capacitance is equal to minus Jxc. The impedance offered by the inductor is equal to Jxl. See here. Here, this is inductance. So impedance offered by the inductor is given by Jxl, where xl equal to omega L. The next, so now the impedance offered next. The impedance offered by the capacitor is given by minus Jxc, where x equal to 1 by omega c. These are very important. So next, determine the analysis of series RL circuit excited by sinusoidal input. So we are going to take the RL circuit. For RL circuit, so some part of the energy is dissipated in the form of heat, and other some energy is exchanged between inductor and the source. Now here, so RMS value of the applied voltage I is the RMS value of the circuit current. Now this I give already for the assignment. This question. Okay. So here VR equal to, you know that VR equal to I into R. VL is the voltage across the inductor. It is given by J I into XL. Here the impedance offered by the inductor is equal to JXL. The impedance offered by the resistance is equal to R. As the same current flows through R and L, I is taken as reference. So here the current is common in V and this R and L. So the same current will be flowing through resistance and inductance. So I is taken as reference for drawing the phasor diagram. So here the phasor diagram is drawn. So coming to VR, VR will be in phase with I. The voltage across the resistance and the current flowing through the resistance both will be in phase. Already we have seen circuit containing only resistor. So here VR and I will be in phase. Now coming to the phasor diagram of VL and I. So you know that the current lags the voltage by 90 degrees in a pure inductor. So here voltage, that means voltage leads the current by 90 degrees. So here as I is taken as reference, VL. So VL is drawn 90 degrees ahead of I in anti-clockwise direction. Now here we have VL and VR. So what is as per KVL? So V equal to VR plus VL. V equal to VR plus VL. So if you take the phasor sum of VR and VL, you are going to get V. So here we are going to draw the phasor diagram. So we are going to add the phasors VR and VL to get the V. So here V is the applied voltage. Now here you can see an angle theta between V and I. You can calculate the value of the theta. So here, from the diagram, the supply voltage is V and current is I. So current lags the supply voltage by an angle theta. So here I lags V by angle theta. So coming to tan theta, tan theta equal to opposite by adjacent. So what is the opposite one? VL. What is the adjacent one? VR. VL by VR is the tan theta. So here you are going to get XL by R as tan theta. As I is common, you can cancel I and I both in numerator and denominator. So tan theta is given by XL by R. Now coming to the power. So instantaneous power is equal to VI. So here what V equal to supply voltage. Vm sin omega t. I is the current flowing through the circuit. That is Im sin omega t minus phi. See here phi. So here instead of theta I have taken phi. So here express as sin omega t is sin of omega t minus phi as cos a minus b minus cos a plus b. So finally you are going to get this one. So here this consists of two parts. The constant part 1 by 2 Vm Im cos phi, whose average value is the same. So constant means average will be the same as that value, constant value. Next, pulsating component. You have the pulsating component whose average value over one complete cycle is 0. So here, so the power is given by, so the instantaneous power is given by 1 by 2 Vm Im sin phi. Now coming to the average power. So here, as it is a constant, average power is also taken as Vm Im cos phi by 2. Next, this can be written as Vm by root 2 Im by root 2 cos phi. What is Vm by root 2 RMS value? That is represented with capital V. Im by root 2 is capital I, which is RMS value of current. So here average power is given by Vi cos phi, where phi is the angle between V and I, voltage phasor and current phasor. Now if you compare this with this
Cos phi is power factor, sir.
Cos phi is power factor. So cos phi is the power factor. It is the angle between, phi is the angle between voltage and current. So cos phi is, so here, so the term cos phi is called power factor of the circuit and its value is given by cos phi equal to VR by V, which is equal to R by Z. So here there are different formulas for cos phi. I am going to explain that afterwards. So within 2 classes, the topic will be coming. So cos phi equal to VR by V. Already we know that cos phi is equal to, okay, cos phi equal to VR by V. So you are going to get R by Z. So the cos phi can be obtained by VR by V. That means voltage across the resistor divided by applied voltage. RMS value of the voltage across the resistor divided by RMS value of the supply voltage. So VR by V, we are going to get, by that, we are going to get the value of the power factor. So here this can be simplified to R by Z. What is Z? Z is the impedance. So Z is the impedance. It is given by here. You can see here. Z is equal to under root of R square plus XL square. Under root of R square plus XL square. This also will come afterwards. So we are going to learn what is under root of R square plus XL square. So here power factor, now you can see power factor has two formulas. One is VR by V, voltage across the resistor divided by supply voltage. Another definition is R by Z. R is the resistance, Z is the impedance. So next one is analysis of series RC circuit. So here RC circuit. So VR, you know, IR. What about VC? VC equal to I into impedance. What is the impedance offered by the capacitor? Minus JXC. So finally, you are going to get VC equal to minus J I into XC. So here also, as the same current flows, you are going to take I as the reference. So here I is taken as the reference. You know that V and I and VR both will be in phase. So voltage across the resistor and current flowing into the resistor will be in phase. That means both will be having same 0 points. So here, so first I have taken I. So in the same direction VR will be there. Next, coming to VC. You know that current leads the voltage in a capacitor. Current leads the voltage in a capacitor. So here, that means the voltage lags the current by 90 degrees. So VC is drawn 90 degrees behind I. So phasors will be always rotating in anti-clockwise direction, and the projection of the phasors on the y-axis gives the instantaneous values or the value of the quantity at that instant. Now here VC I have drawn. Now here supply voltage is equal to VR plus VC. See here, supply voltage is equal to VR plus VC as per KVL. So V equal to VR plus VC. Now here you have to do the phasor sum of VR and VC. The phasor sum will be similar to that of a vector sum. Okay, here VR VC, if you add, you are going to get V. V is the supply voltage. Now here you can see the voltage lags the current by angle theta, or you can say current leads the voltage by an angle theta. So here I is, if you want the value of I, it can be obtained by V by under root of R square plus X square. Here also you can, if you want the tan theta, so tan theta is equal to minus Xc by R. By minus Xc by R means, so here the angle is negative. That's why here minus Xc by R. Now coming to analysis of series RLC circuit. So here you are going to get VR, VL and VC. Now here, if you take VL and VC, VL, if you consider the current here in the phasor diagram I have drawn. So here, first I am going to take VR. Next, what about VL? VL will be leading the current. So as VR and I are in phase, so VL leads VR. No, I have taken. So AB represents AB in the phasor diagram. AB represents VL. You can see AB equal to VL. AD equal to VL minus VC. Why VL minus VC means VC is represented with AC, which is in opposite direction of the to that of VL. VL and VC will be in opposite direction. So if VL is greater, we are going to get AD as positive. AD in the phasor diagram you can see AD will be positive. Suppose if VC is greater, you are going to get AD as negative. So here, for this case, generally inductance will be more. So here, VL is greater than VC. So here you are going to get finally theta as positive. So theta will be positive when VL is greater than VC. So in this case, how to calculate the power factor? So V you are going to get, you are going to get I equal to, see here, V equal to under root of VR square plus VL minus VC whole square. Why this one means VL equal to JXL. What about VC minus JXC? So if you add those voltages, finally you are going to get under root of I into R square, IR whole square plus, so you can see the formula equation. So here I equal to V by under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Suppose if XL equal to XC, then I is equal to V by R, you can write. But here XL, as XL is greater than XC, you are going to get I equal to V by Z. Up to this I covered in the last class. So if I want a tan theta, it is given by XL minus XC by R. So here, let us do a problem based on R and L. So you are going to get some idea. See here, a 230 volts. So what is 230 volts? 230 volts is the RMS value. So here in the questions, in the problems, in the nameplate details, wherever you see a voltage, alternating voltage, AC voltage, that is RMS value. Okay, a 230 volts 50 hertz supply is applied across series combination of R equal to 10 ohms, L equal to 0.05 Henry. Determine, so first one, impedance. Next, current, VR, VL, power factor, active power, reactive power, and phasor diagram. So this is one of the important questions. So how to do this one? First, you require impedance. So one by one, you are going to find out. So first, you have R equal to 10 ohms, L equal to 0.05 Henry. So what about XL? XL equal to omega L. Already I have shown in the derivation. XL equal to omega L. Omega equal to 2 pi F. Omega equal to 2 pi F. So in the running notes, write down omega equal to 2 pi F, where F is the supply frequency. So it is equal to 2 pi into F equal to 50 hertz. So 50 into L 0.05, you are going to get XL value. So the units of XL are ohms. Next, if I want Z, it is equal to under root of R square plus XL square. So you are going to get the impedance. Next, how to calculate the current? Current is equal to V by Z. Current is equal to V by Z. So you are going to get the current. Now voltage VR equal to I into R. So you are going to get the VR. Next, IL. I want only the magnitude. IL equal to VL equal to I into XL. VL equal to I into XL. So you are going to get a VL. Next, power factor equal to R by Z. So R you have 10, Z equal to 18.6201. So you are going to get the power factor. Next, what is the active power? Active power is equal to VI cos phi. Active power or average power, both are same. So you are going to get active power, reactive power. So VI sin phi. VI sin phi. So here you are going to get reactive power. There is a derivation for this reactive power. It will come after this. So here, if you want the phasor diagram, as the current is same in all the components, that means R, L, and C, current is taken as reference. VR will be in phase with the I. Next, IL. IL will leads the current. As current lags the voltage in an inductor, voltage leads the current. So VL is drawn. Next, if you add these two, you are going to get the, if you add VL and VR, you are going to get the supply voltage. Now here, impedance triangle. So in order to understand the Z, you require impedance triangle. If you want to understand more about the Z, you have to know about impedance triangle. Now here, first one, you know that VR, VL, right? In all these, if you remove I, then you are going to get impedance triangle. So you know that VR equal to IR, VL equal to I into XL. So if you add these two, you are going to get V equal to IZ, where Z is the impedance. So here we are going to, if you remove I in all these elements, you are going to get a impedance triangle. So here you can see R. On the x-axis you have R. On the y-axis you are having XL. So if you add R and XL, so you can see horizontal line R, vertical line XL. If you add these two, then you are going to get Z. So adding R and XL is similar to that of a vector addition. Okay. So here, actually we are adding VR, VL to get V. So from this phasor diagram for the voltage and for the voltages, so if you remove I, then you are going to get the impedance triangle. Next here, Z equal to R by, here Z equal to R plus JXL, R plus JXL. So here R is the impedance offered by the resistor, JXL is the impedance offered by the inductor. So total impedance is equal to R plus JXL. So here this impedance triangle is drawn for RL circuit. Okay. So if I want the magnitude of Z, so magnitude of Z is equal to under root of R square plus XL square. Now power factor. What is power factor? Power factor is the cosine of the angle theta. So cos theta. Power factor equal to cos theta, which is equal to R by Z. So here from the impedance triangle, cos theta. What is cos theta? Adjacent by hypotenuse. Adjacent by hypotenuse. So here R by Z. Next, power factor you got. Next, if you take a, similarly, if you take a RC circuit, so here theta will be negative. So Z equal to R minus JXC. Minus JXC is the impedance offered by the capacitor. So total impedance equal to R minus JXC. So if you want the magnitude, it is equal to under root of R square plus XC square. Now cos theta equal to R by Z. So here if you take a RL circuit, RLC circuit, RLC circuit, if you take a RLC circuit, Z equal to R plus JX, where X equal to XL minus XC. Okay. So based upon the value of XL and XC, X can be positive or negative. Next, power factor. You have three definitions for the power factor. The power factor of a circuit is defined as one of the following. So first one is power factor equal to cos theta. That means cosine of the angle between V and I. Power factor is given by cosine of the angle between V and I. So just now we have seen it is the angle between V and I is theta. So here power factor is taken as cosine of the angle between V and I in the phasor diagram. So here whatever the phasor diagrams you see here, V and I here. So here in this. So here the angle between V and I is taken as theta. Cosine of the angle between V and I is power factor. So the next second one, power factor equal to R by Z. Just now we have seen power factor is equal to R by Z. Next, power factor is given by VI cos theta by VI, VI cos phi by VI. That means true power by apparent power, true power by apparent power. So already I have shown that average power is nothing but active power. Average power is equal to active power. Average power is also called as active power. It is also called as true power because it is the actual power which is dissipated in the resistor or the load. So if a load consists of R, L, and C, so some part of the power is dissipated by the resistor. Remaining L and C will store the energy and they will give back the energy. So net power is consumed only by the resistor. So that is the true power by apparent power. Apparent power is given by V into I. So similarly, you are going to have power triangle. So power triangle in here horizontal. We are going to take the real power. So here real power is represented by P. Reactive power is represented by Q. That means yeah, there is a definitions. Before going to that, let us have the definitions. So real power. What is real power? Real power is the average power in watts delivered to the load. It is the only useful power. It is the actual power dissipated by the load. The unit of real power is watt. So real power is given by VA cos theta. Similarly, you have the reactive power. Reactive power is the measure of the energy exchange between the source and the reactive part of the load. The unit of Q is volt ampere reactive. So unit of Q is so reactive power is represented by Q. It is the measure of energy exchange between source and the reactive part of the load. What is the reactive part of the load? If you take RL circuit, L is the reactive part of the load. If you take RC circuit, so here C is the capacitor offers the reactive part of the load. So the unit of Q is volt ampere reactive. It is also written as VAR. So Q equal to VA sin theta. So here the reactive power is transferred back and forth between the load and source. The reactive power is transferred back and forth between the load and source. Next we have the apparent power. So apparent power is the product of voltage and actual current I in the circuit. The units are volt ampere. The units of apparent power are volt ampere. Now here you can have the power triangle. So horizontal axis is the power, horizontal line is the power, vertical line is Q. It can be so Q will be positive if inductance is more. If inductive reactance is more, then Q will be positive. If Xc is greater than XL, then Q will be negative. So here right side you can see here. So before going to that, so if you see the first diagram, first power triangle, P, which is a horizontal line, it represents the real power. Q is the reactive power. So vertical line Q is the reactive power. If you add these two, you are going to get apparent power. Yes. So here S equal to under root of P square plus Q square. Now here Q will be positive for inductive load. Q will be negative for capacitive load. So in Q, current leads the voltage, so leading power factor. So theta is a positive if the load is inductive load. theta will be negative for capacitive load. So here true power is given by Vi cos theta, react power is given by Vi sin theta. So based on you are going to have see this problem. So a choke coil having a resistance of 7 ohm and an inductance of 31.8 milliampere is connected to 230 volts 50 hertz supply. Calculate. First one is impedance. The impedance. First one is impedance. Second one is the circuit current. Third one is phase angle. So here you have to calculate impedance, the circuit current, phase angle, power factor, and power consumed. So power will be consumed only by the resistor. So here first let us take R equal to 7 ohm, XL equal to omega L. So why you require XL? Because we have to get the impedance value Z. So under root of R square plus XL square. So omega equal to 2 pi f. Already I told omega equal to 2 pi f. So where f is omega is the angular velocity in radians per second, f is the supply frequency in hertz. So first one, the circuit current is equal to V by Z. So you are going to get. So here in AC circuits, for getting the current, we have to take V by Z. So next you have to get the phase angle. Phase angle theta equal to tan inverse XL by R. You are going to get theta. Next power factor equal to cos theta. So in some books they follow theta, some books they follow phi, cos phi or cos theta. Both are same. You can use any one. You can take cos phi or cos theta. Power factor equal to cos theta. So as it is an inductive load, so you have to mention cos theta equal to cos of 55 degrees, which is equal to 0.573 lag power consumed equal to Vi cos theta. So power consumed is equal to Vi cos theta. So we have to take the true power or actual power, or it is also called as average power. It is actual power consumed by the load. So remaining I will continue in the next class. So next, already this I have shared in the classroom BW lab. In the BW lab, I shared this material. So I gave a drive link. So if you click on that link, you are going to get the topics. In that you can see the second unit. So in the BW lab, so I've given a link. So if you click on that link, you are going to get topics. In that topic of BW unit 2 is there. You can go through that. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the next class. So now let me take the attendance. So here I am taking your numbers. So I am reading the absentee.